Hello friends, it's good to be back with you here on this Saturday. It's been a heck of a 8 days, I'd say. I don't know if I had the hog flu or what. It didn't act like the hog flu. Of course, I've never had it. Anyway, just a lot of coughing and a lot of just being miserable, put it that way. But anyway, I'd like to get on with part 3. First off, I have a few links up on my profile site on YouTube, Why Silver. I think you might find some of them interesting. Of course, they're not just stuff in general. They're articles pertaining to something I thought that maybe that you'd be interested in reading. Anyway, I'll get on with this, and I've taken a little bit of information. Of course, I get a lot of information from Ted Butler. If you guys don't read a lot of Ted Butler's info and pamphlets or whatever you can get from him, articles, you can get some of you can read a lot of his articles on investmentrarities.com. A lot of commentators there you can read up on silver. But anyway, I'd like to speak a little bit about the COMEX. The COMEX is one of our biggest problems and why we don't see silver prices in real true prices as we should see them. Now, one reason is well, the biggest reason on COMEX is they sell paper silver. As a matter of fact, now this can be debated. Ted Butler says anywhere from 150 to 200 million ounces of silver is actually above ground available today only. That can be actually accounted for in commodity warehouses. And someone will say 300 million, but it really doesn't make any difference. 150, 200, 300 million ounces. Because the COMEX sells approximately 20,000 contracts a day. Paper contracts of silver. And each one of these contracts is 5,000 ounces of silver. So, if you're looking at 5 days, you're looking at 100,000 contracts. That equates to 500 million ounces of silver in just 1 week. They sell more silver in 1 week in paper contracts than there actually is silver above ground, whether it's 150 million, 200 million, 300 million, or 400 million, or 500 million above ground. They're selling in 1 week the equivalent of all the silver above the ground. Now you take that and you multiply it times 52, and you'll be able to understand why the price of silver is where it's at. And I hope, since this past week or the past 2 weeks, that the people who were shorting silver didn't put a stop order in, and they're sitting now with prices of silver above what they had to pay for it, and they get their shorts, they get a call to cover their shorts. I hope to my goodness it happens. And this will be one thing that'll break people short silver. Shorting is nothing but borrowing someone else's silver on paper, selling it immediately, and once the sales take place, that's showing a sale And every time you got a number of sales, it drives down the price of silver. Just the opposite from buying. When you buy, it increases the price of silver. And when they short silver, and you have to sell it immediately, and it shows as a sale, causing the price of silver to drop. And when it gets down to a certain point, they sell it. They have got to buy the silver back. The transaction is not complete until they buy it back. You've got to buy and a sale, and then you got another buy. So if they buy at 15 and it drops down to 13, they sell, they make $2 an ounce. And that's all on paper. And this is only done, this is, silver is, and gold is where these things are taking place. They're not doing it with wheat, corn, the other commodities. And that's, actually for every short there has to be a long. And the COMEX has gotten out of this policy. They steered away from this policy altogether. It's called manipulation, and when they manipulate it, they're keeping the dollar high and keeping the price of the commodity of silver and gold low. But for some reason, we're seeing a little difference in this past month. Now, I'd like to take a little bit of information of why I think you should understand a little bit more about the uses of silver, because the more you understand about the uses of silver, the more you're going to want to buy. Now, I'm taking this from an article of Ted Butler, and he's stating here, he says, every computer server, cell phone, switch must have silver. Lasers, satellites, high-tech weaponry, and robotics. These all take silver. Additionally, silver solder. You people know what silver solder is. Whenever you are attaching wires to a circuit board and you've got a heating element and it melts the silver, solder. This is silver. That's for your conductivity. Air conditioners, refrigerators, washers, dryers, plastics. You might say plastics. Well, whenever I call out an item, it doesn't necessarily mean that silver is in that item, but it is used in the manufacturing process. Okay? Paper, textiles, dinnerware, silverware, buttons, handles, knobs, packaging materials, thermal, toys, clothing, fabrics, computers, components, mylar tape, cellophane, antifreeze, jewelry, decorative arts, conductors, switches, fuses, timers, thermostats, windshields, vacuum cleaners, drills, elevators, escalators, machine tools, locomotives, diesel engines, drilling motors, electronics, silk screen circuit paths, membrane switches, conductive adhesives. There's also it's also used in the making of plywood. The adhesive inside plywood where it's layered. Silver. Would you have ever thought that? It's such an integrated element in our social living. It's part of every aspect. Microwave ovens, electrically heated automobile windows, stoves, electrical circuits, televisions, hair dryers, radios, aircraft, security systems, mobile phones, ball bearings, Christmas tree ornaments, pharmaceuticals, medical, dental, film, cameras, x-rays, solar cells, bactericide, algicide, water purifications, silver icons for mold and mildew resistance. And there's more and more less silver. We're about 150 to 200 million ounces shy of what we need each year. We are on the verge of this bubble. Can I pick a day or a month or a year? No. But it's coming. Go for long term. You know, long term, 3 to 5 to 8 to 10 years. You know, go for your retirement. It would even make you, you know, it would be hard at any given time to even sell your silver. I know. Especially if it's done so well.